The Victorian era, an age of great British monarchs. Queen Victoria's rule spanned over 63 years, witnessing immense growth, innovation, and expansion. But beneath the surface of this flourishing era, there lurked a dark reality. Life in Victorian Britain, while seemingly progressive, was marred by the constant specter of disease and death. London, the heart of this empire, had become a breeding ground for some of the most horrifying illnesses known to man. Today, we delve into the annals of history to reveal the top 10 most horrifying diseases that haunted Victorian Britain. This severe respiratory infection, particularly dangerous for infants and young children, could lead to exhaustion, pneumonia, and even death. The harsh, hacking cough that racked a child's body, followed by an unsettling whoop as they struggled to breathe, was a sound that echoed the terror felt by those who heard it. The disease spread through close contact and thrived in the densely populated urban centers, claiming many innocent lives and leaving survivors with lifelong respiratory problems. This bacterial infection not only threatened the lives of infants and young children, but also left many permanently disabled. The disease manifested through a sore throat, fever, and difficulty breathing, swiftly progressing to the formation of a membrane across the airway. While the introduction of vaccines in the 20th century has made diphtheria a rare occurrence, its presence during the Victorian era serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the triumph of medical science. Stay tuned. They are testaments to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity, importance of scientific progress and public health measures in protecting us from the threats of the microscopic world. From the shadows of tuberculosis to the swift wrath of cholera and the silent menace of syphilis, each disease tells a tale of suffering, loss, and the relentless pursuit of cures and preventative measures. They echo the stories of millions whose lives were cut short or forever altered by these illnesses. This highly contagious viral infection left deep, disfiguring scars on survivors, making it a major cause of death and disability, and reaffirmed the importance of vigilance and public health infrastructure in safeguarding our collective future. The fight against these and other diseases was a pivotal chapter in human history, and understanding this legacy allows us to appreciate the battles won and the ongoing need to stay vigilant in the face of evolving health challenges. This bacterial infection caused rapid dehydration, leading to death within hours of its onset. With little warning, this viral infection swept through the population, leaving a trail of death and misery in its path. During the winter of 1908, the Spanish flu pandemic claimed an estimated 50 million lives worldwide, with Britain bearing a significant share of the casualties. Unlike diseases that lingered for weeks or months, influenza struck swiftly, causing death within days. The true impact of influenza was often felt through secondary infections such as pneumonia. The widespread impact on all social classes highlighted the vulnerability of humanity in the face of infectious diseases, driving home the need for ongoing medical research and preparedness. The severity of cholera outbreaks forced Victorian society to confront the dire state of its sanitation infrastructure. The resulting public health reforms, including improved sewage systems and clean water access, not only curbed the spread of cholera, but also laid the foundation for modern urban public health infrastructure. However, amidst the devastation, a glimmer of hope emerged with the pioneering work of Edward Jenner. His development of the world's first vaccine against smallpox marked a turning point in medical history, offering some protection against this scourge of humanity. Despite the success of immunization campaigns, smallpox continued to claim lives, underscoring the relentless nature of the disease and the challenges in eradicating it. This sexually transmitted infection progressed through distinct stages, each mimicking other diseases, which allowed it to remain hidden and untreated for long periods. It lurked in the shadows, attacking the nervous system, the heart, and the blood vessels, ultimately leading to blindness, paralysis, and death. Due to the social stigma attached to syphilis, accurate statistics were hard to come by, but its toll on human lives was undeniable. Moreover, the disease often went unreported, and its victims were subjected to societal scorn, further perpetuating the cycle of misinformation and despair. Number 10. Measles. Emerging first in the impoverished corners of society, measles quickly spread its tendrils throughout Victorian Britain. This bacterial infection spread through contaminated food and water, leaving a trail of high fever, weakness, and rose spots in its path. No segment of society was immune to its grasp, as evidenced by the fact that even Prince Albert, Queen Victoria's husband, fell victim to its relentless assault. The disease persisted until significant improvements in sanitation and public health measures were implemented, serving as a stark reminder of the importance of hygiene in the fight against disease. In an era when hygiene was rudimentary and overcrowded living conditions were the norm, this highly contagious viral infection, making its presence felt through red sandpapery lesions across the body. It brought not only excruciating pain, but also the risk of rheumatic fever and kidney damage. This severe bacterial infection was most lethal to children, leaving many scarred for life or succumbing to its deadly embrace. As it tore through crowded workhouses and slums, it became a terrifying specter of childhood, a grim foreshadowing of the other diseases that lurked around every corner of Victorian London. For children, especially those battling malnutrition. The disease became a terrifying harbinger of death. This debilitating disease wasted away its victims, making its presence felt through persistent coughs and the gradual wasting of the body. No social class was spared from its icy grip, but it found fertile ground in the overcrowded slums of industrial cities. Artists and intellectuals romanticized the disease as a mark of a sensitive soul, an image that contrasted sharply with the brutal reality of its relentless march towards death. Indeed, tuberculosis stood as a grim reaper, reaping countless lives and casting a long shadow over the hopes and dreams of Victorian England. It wasn't uncommon for entire families to be wiped out by this relentless pathogen. While today we stand victorious against measles thanks to widespread vaccination, the Victorian era bore witness to the devastation this disease could bring. Its impact was a stark reminder of the precariousness of life during a time when basic healthcare was a privilege rather than a right. No. 9. Scarlet fever. Scarlet fever, with its telltale rash, was a particularly cruel disease to emerge during the Victorian era. More commonly known as consumption, tuberculosis was the silent stalker of Victorian England. Number 7. Whooping cough. Whooping cough, with its violent fits of coughing, sent chills down the spines of parents in Victorian Britain. No. 6. Syphilis. Syphilis, the great imitator, slithered through Victorian society, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. No. Typhoid fever. Typhoid fever stalked the murky waters of Victorian London, thriving in the city's overcrowded and unsanitary conditions. Number 4. Diphtheria. Diphtheria instilled terror in the hearts of Victorian parents, with the image of their children choking to death on a toxic film in their throats. No. 3. Smallpox. Smallpox, with its horrific scarring and high mortality rate, was a dreaded disease during the Victorian era. Number 2. Cholera, the swift and brutal destroyer, stalked the crowded streets of Victorian cities, leaving a trail of death and despair in its wake. Number 1. Influenza. Influenza, the invisible assailant, was the most devastating disease to haunt Victorian Britain. These 10 diseases, while relics of the past, serve as grim reminders of the challenges humanity has faced. In exploring these historical horrors, we pay tribute to those who suffered, recognize the advancements that have shielded us from these threats,